February, not February, February 8th. It's Working Man Committee. I'm your host, Brandon T. And I stacked stuff today. Yesterday was the State of the Union. And there was a bit of drama. So yesterday, at the State of the Union, Mitt Romney and George Santos had some words. We'll talk about it later. Michael Irvin. Come on, man. Has been dropped from Super Bowl coverage by the NFL Network. What'd you do? UNC, University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. There are problems in the men's basketball. Fabuloso. Now, I know all y'all clean with Fabuloso. Got some news for you. And top story. No, not top story yet. We got to talk about Sarah Huckabee Sanders and her rebuttal to Joe Biden and the State of the Union. But our top story, LeBron James, King James, affectionately known around the hood as Bron, has broken the NBA scoring title. Yes, Bron. This title's been alive for 40 years, held by, who held that, bro? By Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, a center back in the day. And so now LeBron James has broken it for scoring 38,390 points. And this happened mid-game yesterday. So let me show you what happened. Let's go to the NBA. Bron breaking the record. Go.
Coming to the end of the third quarter. LeBron James, a shot at history. LeBron stands alone. The NBA's all-time scoring record now belongs to LeBron James.
Yep. You see, Brian hits a 40-foot layaway to break the record. You saw refs stop the game, pull out the celebration, take pictures and all that to commemorate the moment. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was in attendance for this game to see it happen because everybody knew it was going to happen in this game. Yep. Congratulations to LeBron James. And so I guess this is a swirl of comments, of GOAT, who's the GOAT in the NBA. But Jordan versus Bron, that debate is raging in every sports setting and every barbershop across America. And all over Twitter and all social media. But we're going to take this moment to say, good job, Bron. The NBA scoring title leader. All time. Got the record. All right, staying in basketball. University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill's men's basketball team suffered their third straight loss on Tuesday during the State of the Union. They lost to Wake Forest 92-85. Now, Why is this a big story, you ask? They lost 3 straight. And here's the 3 straight they lost. It's 3 straight games they lost. And the biggest standout of these losses is Duke. Now that's the rivalry of all rivalries right there in college basketball. It's Duke versus North Carolina. They travel up Tobacco Road. So this is only about 10 miles. They're apart from each other. So this is rivalry on top of rivalry on top of rivalry. And what's happened is North Carolina has fallen apart here this year so far. And yep, the record is 15-9 and 7-6 in the ACC. Now, gotta figure out what's going on. See, this is the thing with Carolina. Carolina was able to bring back the whole starting 5 last year, and so they was AP #1 team coming back into the season because of that. Hubert Davis looked good, but it looks like we're falling apart here. And now I don't know if Hubert Davis or his white wife is having a problem. And I know you're like, what do you mean white wife? Check this out. So when Hubert Davis was named the head basketball coach of North Carolina last year, Hubert Davis was at a press conference, and he said this. Go.
I know that in terms of Division I head coaches all around the country, only 26% of the head coaches for Division I men's basketball are compromised by minorities, specifically African Americans. I know that it is significant that I'm the 4th African American head coach in any sport in the history of the University of North Carolina. I'm very proud to be African American, but I'm also very proud that my wife is white, and I'm very proud that my 3 beautiful, unbelievable kids are a combination of both of us.
So Hubert Davis introduced his wife, his white wife, to the masses. So he's synonymous when it comes to me, synonymous with Hubert Davis and his wife. We got to figure out who's the problem. Is the white wife not helping this year with play calling and so forth? Does he not call her like he did last year, or maybe last year he didn't talk to her at all, and now this year she's helping? It's one of the 2 ways, but Hubert Davis and his white wife got to get it together because, like I said, this is not North Carolina basketball here. Like I said, they don't look like the same team. I don't see the same running. I don't see the same intensity out of the players. So Hubert Davis, the way North Carolina basketball works is they're not used to losing. North Carolina, University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill is not used to losing, not used to looking like this. And so they will wrap your time up. Had Coach Daughtery there. He was there for I think 2 years he made because he was not performing like North Carolina standards. So I don't know what's going to happen here. Hopefully that Hubert Davis, white wife or not, get it together and so forth. But like I said, this is not North Carolina basketball. All right. Staying in the realm of sports, there's an issue. The NFL Network pulls Michael Irvin from Super Bowl coverage. What happened, you ask? Yep, so they pulled the Hall of Famer Michael Irvin off the air of coverage this week leading up to the NFL after a woman complained about Irvin's conduct on Sunday. Irvin will not be part of, this is a statement from the NFL Network, Irvin will not be part of the NFL Network's broadcast of Super Bowl coverage. Statement, period. Let's see. The specifics of the nature of the complaint against Irvin is not known on Wednesday. He took part in the media night festivals on Monday, but then after that, all right, Irvin, you go sit in the stands, watch the game, and go home. Yeah, the 56-year-old told the Dallas Morning News that he had a brief encounter with a woman in a hotel lobby, and shook her hand. So he had a brief encounter with the woman. Hi, oh, you Michael Irvin? Yeah, shake hands, and he said he left briefly. Briefly talked to the woman. I don't know if she was a fan or not, but he says honestly, I was a bit baffled by it all. Irvin says this all happened in 45-second conversation in the lobby. When I got back, after I got back, when I got back out to the hotel. Okay. Let's see. I've talked to somebody. I talked to this girl. I didn't know her, and I talked to her for 45 seconds. So what Irvin is saying is, he gets back to the hotel in the lobby. Oh, you Michael Irvin? Shake her hand or whatever, and then said 45 seconds of conversing, and then that was it. And so Michael Irvin also told 90s. Let's see. He told the radio station The Fan Wednesday morning that he doesn't remember the altercation or the interaction with the woman because he had a few drinks. So now it's getting muddy. So it went from saying that he talked to her for 45 seconds, shaking hands in the lobby. And then from somehow 45 seconds, and he don't really remember the conversation, till talking about he had a few drinks and don't quite remember everything that was said. So obviously there was maybe a little bit more to the story, but this is the interesting part here. So a Glendale police spokesman told Morning News that they have no knowledge of an incident involving Irvin. So this didn't rise to a assault or anything. So nothing like that happened. But the police wasn't called. So I'm taking that the lady complained to the NFL. I don't know. Sounds a little sketchy. And I don't know, NFL, was this is a complete overreach? I don't know. I guess we'll wait till more details come out. All right. Next story. And this story is going to touch a lot of black people pretty hard here. Because Colgate-Palmolive recalls 4.9 million cleaners with bacteria risk. Yeah. That's parent company of Fabuloso. And Fabuloso is used a lot in black households. You go anywhere to any black household, that stays clean. Now, I didn't say like the black households don't stay clean. They really do. Is that if you get the overwhelming smell clean, you're smelling Fabuloso. So the multi-purpose cleaner is being recalled over bacteria exposure risk. Yeah. So somehow bacteria was mixed in to the Fabuloso. So this is the multi-purpose cleaner Fabuloso. So this is one not just mopping the floor. This is one you wiping walls down or whatever. And like I said, so it's been contaminated with bacteria. So I don't know if something happened in the making of Fabuloso or so forth. And so this Fabuloso was sold in December. So if you bought Fabuloso to clean your house for the holidays, and you bought this Fabuloso sold in Dollar General, Family Dollar, Home Depot, Sam's Clubs, and Walmart, which is probably everybody that uses Fabuloso buys Fabulosos at those places. And back in December, you might have some tainted Fabuloso. And it looks like it's not all Fabulosos. It's just a couple cents, I do believe. And that's a limited ocean. That has a risk of the Fabuloso. So I recommend going and Googling up Fabuloso to get the lot numbers that are affected, and if that's your affected lot number, I'm pretty sure there's a way to get a replacement. Yep. So it says that the company is going to give full refunds or replacement of products, and taking the picture of the product's UPC code will help. And then throw it out. So what they want you to do is take a picture of the UPC code, turn it into them, and then it falls in these lot numbers. Then they will give you a refund of your Fabuloso or replace it with some good stuff. And working man, be safe out here with this, because like I said, this could be pretty daunting. Trying to keep your house clean and you're spreading bacteria all over the place. All right. Let's talk State of the Union. So, all y'all know Mitt Romney, former governor of, I think, Massachusetts at one time, ran for president against Obama the first time around. Now he's a senator from Utah, because he's originally from Utah. And he's not a Trump fan, and so forth. So, Mitt Romney and George Santos. Remember we did a story on George Santos before. He is a congressman from New York City that fabricated or lied on his resume and got elected to the House of Representatives in that district. And so there was an altercation between these two people to share some words. I'm going to show you what happened when they met in the House chamber at the State of the Union. Go. Yep, so Mitt Romney tells George Santos, they cross their paths. You see them, they cross paths. Santos is standing, Mitt Romney moving down. Tells him, you shouldn't be here. And you can see some more words going back and forth. Because, like I said, George Santos fabricated his whole story. And then they said he did something wrong with the campaign funds. So we'll see if more of this happens. And then if Kevin McCarthy unseats George Santos. I know right now George Santos he requested to be pulled off all his committees and so forth, so he's just there getting the check and not participating in anything. And so we'll see how that goes. Interesting to see anybody else confront George Santos. All right. Last story. Sarah Huckabee Sanders did the Republican response to the State of the Union, and she spoke from Arkansas. And she gave in her speech on Tuesday, she drew sharp contrast between Biden and the people. See, Sarah Sanders called Biden unfit for serving as commander-in-chief and his weakest part, putting our nation and our world at risk. And see, the dividing line of Americans is no longer between right and wrong, right and left, she says. It's a choice between normal and crazy. All right, Sarah. Sarah highlight the general difference between Biden, saying at 40, the younger governor of the country. So this is the difference. So Sarah Huckabee Sanders is 40 years old. Biden is 80 years old. She pointed out that she's the youngest governor in America in history, and Biden is the oldest president in history. How they are so far apart. 40 years. Yep. And she talked about the new generation of Republican leaders coming up. Okay. And she also talked about her time as press secretary under former President Donald Trump. Yep. And how she agreed with the policies, and how she frequently clashed with the national reporters. Yes, there was always battle there. And the fact that she made history as being the first elected governor and first elected woman governor, and her father being governor of the same state. So her father was in there from 96 to 07, so he had 2 terms, almost 3. All right. Yeah. And so we're going to do this. We're going to give you a little bit of a montage of Sarah Huckabee Sanders and what she had to say. Go.
Believe every story I hear. So forgive me for not believing much of anything I heard tonight from President Biden. From out of control inflation and violent crime to the dangerous border crisis and threat from China, Biden and the Democrats have failed you. They know it, and you know it. And it's time for a change. Tonight, let us reaffirm our commitment to a timeless American idea that government exists not to rule the people, but to serve the people. President Biden and I don't have a lot in common. I'm for freedom, he's for government control. At 40, I'm the youngest governor in the country. And at 80, he's the oldest president in American history. I'm the first woman to lead my state, and he's the first man to surrender his presidency to a woke mob that can't even tell you what a woman is. Formidable adversary is dangerous and unacceptable. President Biden is unwilling to defend our border, defend our skies, and defend our people. He is simply unfit to serve as commander-in-chief. And while you reap the consequences of their failures, the Biden administration seems more interested in woke fantasies than the hard reality Americans face every day. Most Americans simply want to live their lives in freedom and peace. But we are under attack in a left-wing culture war we didn't start and never wanted to fight. Every day we are told we must partake in their rituals, salute their flags, and worship their false idols. All while big government colludes with big tech to strip away the most American thing there is, your freedom of speech. That's not normal. It's crazy, and it's wrong. Make no mistake, Republicans will not surrender this fight. We will lead with courage and do what's right, not what's politically correct or convenient. Republicans believe in an America where strong families thrive.
Yeah, so on this Wednesday, we're going to say that we're going to stand, applaud for LeBron James on holding the highest scoring record in the NBA. We're going to ask Hubert Davis and his white wife what's happening with North Carolina. We're going to know, hey, man, Hubert, tighten up. Michael Irvin, man, say it ain't so. And everybody check your cabinets for the Fabuloso. With that said, I want you to like and subscribe. Helps the channel out. This has been the Working Man Committee, and I'm your host, Brandon T. We'll see you Friday. Peace.